Hi everyone, and welcome to our brand new show, Screen Theories. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the Marvel TV shows, and we are joined by Toyo. So I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hello, this is Toyo. I'm a fan of Marvel. I love Marvel. I love Spider-Man. I love Iron Man.
Amazing. Well, you're
Ethel.
in the right place because we are going to be talking about all of the Marvel content. So we've obviously got Moon Knight, episode
Yay!
4, which just came out. So let's talk about episode 4, because I know you weren't the biggest fan of episode 4, were you?
It's questionable as to what they've done, especially the part where it ends. I was like, what?
Such a WTF ending. I know. I feel
Yeah.
like that ending has just set the social media landscape on fire because everyone literally is, as you said, just like WTF, what on earth is going on? I absolutely loved it. I think Moon Knight so far could well be easily one of the best Marvel TV shows ever made. I think, it's in the right company because Loki and WandaVision for me have been the best.
Oh yeah, I love those. They're
Definitely
fantastic shows. Yeah.
100%. Definitely up there. What If I thought was really good as well. But for me, Hawkeye and Falcon and the Winter Soldier just weren't as great. But I know you were a big fan of them, weren't you? I know that's controversial.
You know what? At first I wasn't really so sure about Hawkeye because I was never into Hawkeye, the character. He was like filling in gaps in between the Avengers films. And yeah, just definitely not my favorite. But I think narrative, how they painted the entire journey of bringing Kate Bishop into the picture. And also, are we allowed spoilers here?
Yeah, we're allowed to talk about spoilers.
Okay, so in the episode where Yelena joined, I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Because like she's so charismatic in Black Widow. It's been like one of my favorite characters. Like maybe for the Young Avengers, for whatever Marvel's doing in the Avengers film, upcoming Avengers films, and also Kingpin. So that kind of brought me back to watching the Netflix series because I miss Daredevil and the Kingpin character is just so well portrayed.
Yeah.
So you feel how menacing he is and also why he was brought up to be that way.
Yeah, he was perfect casting, wasn't he, as Kingpin? I feel like he
Yeah,
really
totally.
is lifted and shifted from the comic book. And what is my favorite, the 90s animated Spider-Man series, I feel like it literally just depicts that version of Kingpin perfectly. And you are right,
Yeah.
like Hawkeye was like a true celebration of everything that had been Marvel thus far. So, as you said, Yelena Belova, brilliantly played by Florence Pugh, just came from Black Widow and making her big return in Hawkeye. I agree with you. It was really, really cool. But for me, I think the more realistic side of the MCU isn't just as exciting. I think WandaVision, Loki, What If, and now Moon Knight, especially Moon Knight, because it's really embracing Egyptian mythology. Just, I don't know, for me, just
Yeah.
feels kind of cooler and just a bit more escapist. And I'm just a bit more excited about those. But let's talk about future upcoming Marvel TV shows. So we've obviously got Miss Marvel, we've got Echo, which is going to bring back Daredevil and Kingpin. From obviously, it's going to be different variant versions from what we've seen in the Daredevil TV show. But I think that is just going to be absolutely awesome. Obviously, everyone is such a big fan of the Daredevil TV series, and his triumphant return in Spider-Man No Way Home was just
Oh
absolutely
my
incredible.
gosh.
Just such a brilliant way to start that movie. And so I think
Yes.
Echo is going to be really, really cool. I'm really excited about Agatha House of Harkness as well, because that kind of, to me, feels a little bit like WandaVision season 2, which I think is going to be really, really wicked. She-Hulk, I think as well, is going to be really, really cool. I think that one is also going to have a bit of a legal edge to it. So Daredevil is going to be in that one as well. Charlie Cox is going to be anywhere and everywhere, it seems. What If season
For sure.
2 was going to be hilarious. What If season 2, like I said, What If for me was just absolutely incredible. Really, really, really excited about Multiverse of Madness because of the fact that What If was just so incredible. And then Loki season 2, like I just said, Loki was absolutely incredible. And then there's rumors that there's going to be a Daredevil TV series and an X-Men live action TV series, which would
X-Men,
just be
yes.
on another level. So, given the fact of what this upcoming slate is, what are you most excited about for the future Marvel TV?
Anything X-Men would be good because we grew up with the original trilogy and also the prequels. Okay, let's not talk about was it Dark Phoenix as well as
Oh,
Apocalypse,
what
but
a
the
mess.
first two were really good. Like they were really well scripted, they were really well played out and acted. Well, the acting was phenomenal across all the movies. It's just the scripts of Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. I wasn't really fully on board with those, especially Dark Phoenix, because I didn't go to the cinema to watch Dark Phoenix, but I watched it on Disney Plus, and I was like, oh, when is this going to end?
Yeah.
It's a rare occasion for X-Men films, and it's sad to see them fail again because they did try that storyline with the original trilogy, but they kind of slipped again.
Yeah, it's such a shame, isn't it? Because I feel like Dark Phoenix, if you watch the animated X-Men incredible 90s series, then actually you can really see why they really want to do Dark Phoenix, because the Dark Phoenix storyline
Yeah.
is so brilliant. And of course, from the
Yes.
comic book series is so brilliant as well. But you're right. There's just something about the live action movies that they just can't do it properly. And I think, with Dark Phoenix, the film, I can see what they were doing in terms of trying something a little bit different to the standard formula, but you don't do an X-Men movie with such an incredible ensemble group of characters and just ignore the ensemble, like the ensemble aspect of the X-Men movies is the thing that makes it so successful, and is the thing that, as a brand makes them have such a big cult following. And I feel like they were just trying to ignore what makes X-Men so great. And so I think, for that and a load of other reasons, Dark Phoenix didn't work. But I actually disagree with you because I really liked Apocalypse. I thought it was such a I thought it was such a fun movie. And we can link back to Moon Knight in a minute due to Oscar Isaac. But I don't know, I just thought, Apocalypse is like the first mutant. I think they set up his backstory really well. I think how they had the Four Horsemen as, these big epic
All that part was good, yes.
mutants was really, really cool. I won't spoil how they, ultimately end the movie, which I thought was really, really wicked too. But I don't know, I feel like X-Men Apocalypse is a little bit underrated and, in my opinion, a bit overly slated. But you obviously disagree. So why do you not like Apocalypse?
It's because the Days of the Future Past are so good. It's
Yeah.
like it's really, really difficult to write something that can top that kind of level of movie because, as I said, we grew up with the original trilogy. It's really good to see the old cast mixing in with new cast, and where Wolverine kind of travels like back and forth in time and interacts with the older versions and younger versions of the different characters like Professor X, Magneto. It's just so cool to see that on screen. And it's kind of similar to how the more recent Spider-Man No Way Home, it does bring back that feeling of joy and nostalgia when you see spoilers with the previous two Spider-Mans. So it's just quite magical in that sense. And it's like catching lightning in a bottle. I'm not sure whether they can make future X-Men movies at the same quality with the same level of like crazy script that it was. The second one was just amazing.
I think you're absolutely right. I think X-Men Days of Future Past it's kind of in that untouchable level of movies
It's
because
like the holy grail of X-Men movies.
because it was, or even not just X-Men movies, I think superhero movies, and then just in the broader category of just movies in general, I think Days of Future Past just did something that, still to this day has never really been done before, just celebrating cinema so brilliantly. I think, Multiverse of Madness may well be the next opportunity.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, can't can't wait for Multiverse of Madness. But I think, but you are right. I think Days of Future Past just did something that, and I think the original plan was, because it was going to be such an epic moment, I think it was originally supposed to be the third entry within the prequel trilogy of movies. But obviously, the studio just got so excited by it that they fast tracked it to the second movie. And so I think because of that, I think because it was just so unbelievably epic, as you said, the third movie, I think, is always going to have a bit of a hard job in its hands to be able to be something that was that great. And you don't want to do it for a gimmicks purpose. You don't want to try to, tread old waters just because it worked before, even though a lot of franchises do that. So I think you're right. Apocalypse, because of that, did have a hard job in its hands. But I think despite that, I think, like I said, I think Apocalypse, it was like the end of the world. It was like it was such a big thing that the X-Men had. Yeah, and it was quite the threat. Like, he had turned arguably the most powerful mutants against the world, and they were on Apocalypse's side. And so, you know, I just remember there were, you know, you can argue there are these moments in all superhero movies, but I really felt in that movie that it's like, how are they going to get out of this situation? Because it seemed so impossible. And I just think Apocalypse is such a cool character. But, you know, like at the same time, I get it. I see why people do have.
And also, you know, the funniest thing is like Oscar Isaac played Apocalypse, which is like Egyptian related. Now he's in Moon Knight, Egyptian related. So it's kind of like Michael Keaton, how he played the Batman. And then he was the Vulture in Spider-Man. So it's really cool in that sense. They honor what they've done previously.
100%. It's kind of asking for some kind of a reference in Multiverse of Madness or in like a future movie.
And everyone loves that.
yeah. I think they 100% need to tap into it. And also, I mean, Oscar Isaac is super Marvel fanboy right now because he's also going to be voicing Spider-Man 2099 in Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yes.
So he really is playing such wicked Marvel characters. And I hope that they, you know, in some way, shape, or form, bring that version of the character. Miguel is such a cool character. Spider-Man 2099 has been used so much in, you know, comic books, TV shows, animations, and now can't wait for him to be in an animated movie. But hopefully we'll get to see him in a live action movie, which would be really, really wicked. But you're right. I feel like the connection with Moon Knight is really, really cool. So let's go back to Moon Knight. So what are your thoughts on what could happen in the future in the final 2 episodes of Moon Knight?
I have seriously no idea. You know, what shocks me was when Hippo came out and she had such a cute voice. It's the hippo from Madagascar saying, I can't remember what she said exactly, but hello or something. I was like, what's happening? Like, oh, next episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like, 100%. That cliffhanger was just unbelievable. And then also seeing Mark and Steven interacting together, I just thought it was so cool. And then obviously the whole setup in this insane asylum was just unbelievable. I don't know if you've watched Legion, the TV series, but a lot of people are, you know, acting as if this is the first ever time something like this has been done in superheroes, in terms of, you know, a character with multiple personality disorder, like true superpowers, you know, questioning reality, all this sort of stuff. It has been done before in Legion, which was a Fox mutant property. Obviously, Moon Knight is in a different category because it is a lot stronger than Legion. But I think, you know, there are similarities to that. But I do agree with you. I think the ending is just going to be so incredible. And now I just can't wait to see what's going to happen in episode 5 and 6. I think, you know, with Loki and with WandaVision and stuff, they've always had these unbelievable moments towards the end of their run in terms of, you know, Quicksilver appearing, in terms of seeing all of the Loki variants. So I just know that the final 2 episodes of Moon Knight is just going to be something else, which is just exciting.
It's definitely going to get people talking.
100%,
yeah, for sure.
And I think it's going to elevate the character to have his own movie. I feel like they have to give Oscar Isaac a Moon Knight movie, and which will then, you know, maybe link into Midnight Suns and all of those characters being banded together. And I think in the same way that Wanda deserves to have a Scarlet Witch movie, I think we're going to get a Moon Knight movie, hopefully, because, well, I think this show has been really, really popular. Maybe not as popular as Loki or WandaVision, but I think, you know, the popularity of the character and the potential of the character, and hopefully what they've done with episode 4 will just reignite the fan base to be really championing this character. And I just love the Egyptian mythology. What are your final thoughts on Moon Knight?
As you said, seeing both Mark and Steven like interacting with each other is cool. Like you don't feel like they've replaced this character over a green screen so both of them can appear at the same time. So that bit was really good, because my initial thoughts with the first episode was when they were doing that car chase scene down the hill, the green screen looked a bit clunky. Like I can't fully immerse in that world, because you do see the background being a bit fuzzy and lighter. You don't get the top-notch quality of CGI from Loki or from WandaVision. But I mean, as you said, episode 4 was really well done. It's polished, and the last 10 minutes was like WTF all the way. So I'm really excited as to what they'll be bringing to the final 2 episodes and how it can connect to the wider Marvel universe, because at the moment we don't see much or any references as to Iron Man is in that world, Spider-Man exists, like nothing, no connection. So it'll be really nice to see how they kind of connects the dots together, similar to, for example, some of the Spider-Man films. We see the Iron Man mural in Spider-Man No Way Home, when Tom Holland was really lost after Iron Man passed away, of course. And yeah, it's just a really nice way to see them referencing to the wider Marvel universe.
I completely agree with you. And I think one thing that we haven't mentioned so far is the fact that there's going to be a third character within the Moon Knight mind. Jake Lockley obviously is potentially the person that is in the sarcophagus. So I think that is just going to, take it and elevate it to a whole other level. But I think you're absolutely right. The thing that I've really loved about Moon Knight in particular is that it's part of the wider MCU, but at the same time, it has kind of done its own thing. And you're right, exactly. When you do get the moment in which you connect Moon Knight with all of these other incredible MCU Marvel characters, it's just going to take it to a whole other level, which is just going to be really, really exciting. And so I'm really excited about the future potential of not only this series, but obviously this character in the wider MCU landscape. But that's all for this episode. I will link all of Atoyo's contact details in the description box below, so you can contact him and see all of his channels and all of his videos, all of that sort of stuff over there. And we would love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Moon Knight so far and the future potential of the Marvel TV series? Please let us know in the comment section below, and we look forward to seeing you in a future episode.